Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
Should the Philadelphia Phillies pay JT Realmuto a whole lot of money? Did Matt Klentak say the wrong things? Should Bryce Harper really be wearing a JT Realmuto t-shirt to make a statement? What's going on with this IL situation? Scott Kingery, Hector Neris, Ranger Suarez, Tommy Hunter, they're on the IL, but you haven't heard why? That's interesting. All that and more. But before we dive into those juicy conversations, this episode of Sports Talk with Broads is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power, and they set the standard for clean energy. Whether you are looking to add solar to your home or company, Orbit works directly with you to ensure you are getting the best deal. We are talking about $0 electric bills. That's not all. They also provide water purification systems, clean, healthy, soft water, tree removals, battery storage, backup energy services, and more. Their information is in the description. If you are looking to add to your home or to upgrade any services to your home, make sure you check out Orbit Energy and Power. Let's start with JT Realmuto. Just about a week ago or so, you had Jim Salisbury of NBC Sports Philadelphia mention $23 million per year-ish, 6 years or so, 5-6 years in that range. And that matters when you're talking about a catcher who is going to be 30 years old, right? That matters. If this is any other position, I don't think you'd look at the ages the same way. But if it's a deal where he'll be here from 30 to 36 with the catcher position, yeah, I think that is a big deal. And originally, I thought, pay the man. You gave up Sixto Sanchez. You brought in the best catcher in baseball. How do you let the best catcher in baseball walk? But the more and more I think about it, I'm sorry, $23 million per year at age 30 through 36 or so. That is so much money. And I just feel like they are not going to pay him anything close to that because, well, let's be realistic. They're losing a lot of money because of COVID. People are not going to the stands. People are not going to be in these stadiums. So they're going to lose out on revenue. And a lot of these unrestricted free agents will not get paid what they expected to before this all happened. And guess what? It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's not the owner's fault. I hate that conversation that, look, these owners are billionaires. Just pay the guy. I'm sorry. That's not how this works. The reason why these owners are billionaires is because they did the exact opposite of what you want them to do right now. I'm not upset that these owners might not pay all these unrestricted free agents a bunch of money because they have to look at this financially and think, okay, what is the best deal for me and what is the best deal for this organization? I'm not saying don't pay JT Realmuto a good amount of money. I still want him to be with the Philadelphia Phillies. I really do. I just don't think $23 million is realistic, and there's a possibility at this point that he hits the free agent market, and we'll see if another team is willing to spend big money. Let's be real. I don't see another team going out there and spending that type of money on a catcher at that age. I'd be really, really shocked. There might be a team out there willing to do it, but I would be really, really, really shocked if a squad, based off of the financial problems going on right now without fans hitting the stadium and with 60-game seasons, that is a big-time part of this equation on why I don't see a team willing to go out there spending big bucks. Mookie Betts is going to get hit. All these free agents are going to get hit with something that they didn't expect, and it's unfortunate. It's nobody's fault. Once again, it's just unfortunate. And I know that people are upset with Matt Klentak, and I don't like Matt Klentak at all. I don't understand what John Middleton sees in him. I don't know what he sees in Andy McPhail. I don't get whatever trio that they have. But here's the quote that got people a little upset when it came to Matt Klentak's words on JT Realmuto. The landscape that we left in March is different from the one we return to now. We just have to see how that manifests itself in our discussions. We still love the player. We'd still love to have him in red pinstripes for the long haul. But there's a lot of uncertainty in the game right now on a lot of levels. We just need to play that out. All right, a few things. First off, I just want to bring this up before I touch on that quote once. I just want to bring something up. There's possibly going to be a work stoppage down the road here. union, owners, they're going to fight big time. It might even be uglier than what we just witnessed. When talking about a player, a catcher, now you're adding another year to this contract, possibly, if there's a work stoppage, another year to his age, let's say. But the alternative is, well, it's not like you put a lot of miles on the tires that year because nobody would have played if that's the case, and that's fine. But still, I mean, you are talking about another year older for these players if there is a work stoppage. So just put that in mind. Now, going back to the quote with Matt Klentak, I know a lot of people are really pissed off when they heard that. Here's the thing. The way I see it, that sounded like John Middleton. That's what that sounded like. It was as if Matt Klentak was the middleman. He was just saying what he was told. Let's be real. If JT Realmuto was going to be signed to this massive deal of $20+ million per year, guess who's making that call? It's John Middleton. It's not Matt Klentak. Who signed Bryce Harper? It was John Middleton. When you're talking about paying a catcher that much money, guess what? John Middleton's the one writing the check. He's the one making the decision. So, yes, Matt Klentak was the one that said it, but that sounded like John Middleton to me. No doubt about it. No brainer. No brainer that sounded like John Middleton. So, that's just John talking about this is a different time right now when it comes to money. This is not the same spot we were in March. And how am I supposed to sit here and blame him for that? He's not wrong at all. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the whole Sixto Sanchez thing, right? Oh, well, you gave up Sixto. You better sign this guy. And there was a time where I really, truly felt that way. And once again, I want them to sign JT Realmuto. I want them to figure it out. I don't want them touching that $23 million mark. I think I'm taking a step back from that after I really processed it. It's just way too much money for a position like that with where he is in his age. But going back to it, when I think about, I lost my train of thought a little bit where I was going before I got completely sidetracked on wanting to sign JT Realmuto just for the right price. Let me think here for a second. Where was I? Screaming about JT Realmuto. I don't know. I completely lost it. Now I'm going to pause so I can go back and listen to where I was because I felt like this was an important piece to where I was going here. Sixto Sanchez. That's what I was talking about. I used to be the guy that said, look, you gave up Sixto. You gave up Sixto. Now you have to sign JT Realmuto. But I no longer feel that way. After I kind of processed what this meant, I'm not just going to severely overpay someone like JT Realmuto because you gave up a prospect. Do two wrongs make a right? No, two wrongs do not make a right. So I'm not going to now make a poor decision and overpay someone super heavily just because you gave up a prospect to the Marlins when you acquired the man. So it's just a really tough spot, but I think you got to find a way. Another conversation that's always brought up is, well, look, there's going to be a DH in the National League. So if JT Realmuto at some point can't catch anymore, his bat's going to be in the lineup. And I'm not going to knock his ability to hit the baseball right now because I think he provides something that can help a lot of lineups, if not all lineups in Major League Baseball. But the reason why you speak about JT Realmuto's hitting ability is because it's tied to the catcher position. With the catcher position, it's special what he does. But the reason why we talk about him as being as good as what he is because he is the best defensive catcher in baseball. He's the best catcher, period, in baseball. But it's because he's so good at catching why we love his ability at the plate. He's a good hitter, okay? He's not a bad hitter. But the reason he's talked about the way that he is because his hitting is tied to the position that he plays. So if you take away the fact that he's no longer the catcher and he's just the DH later on in this contract where he's still getting paid a lot of money, but he's not producing or providing much behind the plate, well, at that point, is his bat that worthy of needing to be in the lineup? Who knows if he's going to be hitting the same at age 35 than he is at 29, 30 years old. It's just so much money. And let's bring up the whole Bryce Harper thing. There's a part of me that likes it, and there's a part of me that hates it. We'll start with the part of me that likes it. He's being a great teammate. He's trying to prove a point. He's showing his love and compassion for the guys that takes the diamond with him every single day. And that's great. I love that. You paid this dude a lot of money to be here in Bryce Harper. He's been a leader. He's connected to the city perfectly. And he's making a statement like, yo, sign this dude. We want this guy here in Philadelphia. And it matters that his voice is the one that's being heard. It matters that he's doing it. If Scott Kingery does it and Bryce Harper and nobody else does, well, is it the same impact if Andrew Knapp does it? Which that would make no sense because Andrew Knapp is trying to get more playing time, which is ridiculous, by the way. But he is trying to get more playing time, even though he stinks, by the way. But it wouldn't feel the same. It's the fact that it's Bryce Harper that makes it pop. I like that because it shows what type of teammate he is. Now, the reason why I don't like it. Who are you? The general manager makes the decisions. The owner makes the decisions. Those two guys are the ones that should be making the decisions. They shouldn't give a damn what the players think. That's reality. They should make the decisions based off of who they think will help the baseball team, what type of money they think is proper to give out, what type of contract they believe will benefit the organization. That's their job. They shouldn't be listening to the players, and that's reality. So the reason why I hate it, it's like, all right, Bryce, I get it. You enjoy your teammate. You want your boy here on the Philadelphia Phillies. You want him in the pinstripes, the red pinstripes. But who the hell are you? Who are you to now question the front office? Who are you to now question the owner that you signed here with? It shouldn't matter to the guys up top. I would be laughing if I'm them. Because if I'm them, guess what? I don't care what you think. And that's the way it should be. If they feel confident in their work, if they feel confident that they can get the job done, they shouldn't give a damn what Bryce Harper thinks. Because they know where they're going. They see the path. Now, that's what a good ownership would do and a good general manager would do. I don't know if we have that. I like John Middleton. I'm not trying to knock John Middleton. I just don't know if he's a great leader. He talks about wanting to win. He's passionate about winning, no doubt. At least he speaks about how passionate he is. And I think he is. I think he does care. I think he really does want to bring back that trophy. But at the same time, luxury tax be damned. And I don't know if I'm willing to go over the luxury tax, even though stupid money is thrown around by those guys. It's something else. But yeah, I mean, I get the Bryce Harper doing it from a teammate standpoint, but from a front office standpoint, I kind of laugh at it. Like, come on, dude, really? Oh, okay, hold on. Now that you wore the jersey, the shirt jersey, I'm going to go sign him now because you wore that shirt jersey. If anything, I kind of look at it and say, all right, now I'm not going to. I was going to, but now I'm not going to. It's the petty in me. It'll be interesting, though. No doubt it'll be interesting. I wonder if JT Realmuto is kind of rubbed off by this, though. As if he does hit free agency, he doesn't get what he wants. And then the Phillies come crawling back. He's like, really, dude? You think I'm coming back to that franchise after the way you treated me? Now that's the JT petty, right? Now I'm going in the other direction. That's the petty in me thinking, all right, really? I'm going back to you now, dude? Even to this point, the longer it goes, the more time that passes, is he laughing at the front office going, you wish I'd come back here. I can't wait to see how it goes down. I do think that they get it done. I do feel as if they find a way. But here's the thing. At this point, as much as I do think they find a way, I think both parties are on opposite views here. Shocker. Shocker. Owners and players on different sides. Completely different sides. But I do feel as if, JT's going to want that big money that he was going to get if none of this happened. While the owners are going, that's impossible. It's not going to happen. We are losing out on revenue. Where do you want me to get this money from? And once again, the answer is not, you're a billionaire. You pay him anyway. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. In La La Land, it might. But not in reality. And if they do sign him to $23 million, I don't know how I'd feel. I think that's so off the table, though. I really do. I think that's so off the table. I'd be stunned. Stunned. if he was signed to that type of deal. And I really like JT Realmuto. They're in a tough spot, though, because the more and more I think about it, am I willing to overpay for him? I don't know. But do they have a backup plan? Andrew Knapp's not the backup plan. If you said, Broads, they're going to overpay for JT Realmuto where Andrew Knapp's your catcher for years to come, I'm overpaying. They didn't set themselves up to walk away from JT. So do they have their hands tied behind their back? Does JT know that he has some leverage? Let's see what Matt Klentak and John Middleton and Andy McPhail can come up with to keep JT here in Philadelphia. Or not, So let's get into this IL thing. This is something. So normally when there's an injury in baseball, you hear about it. This player needs Tommy Johns. This player broke his leg. This player tore his ACL. You know what happened? You will no longer see that specific player playing baseball. But because of the medical protocols and the medical privacy, you can't tell the public or you can't tell everyone when a player tests positive for COVID. So Scott Kingery, Hector Neris, Tommy Hunter, Ranger Suarez, they just popped up on the IL with no injury. Now, if this happened during the regular season, and let's use Bryce Harper as an example, if he's just no longer in right field, he didn't get hurt, you knew he didn't get hurt, and he's gone for a week, what do you think happened? Let's just take a shot in the dark on what happened. How are you supposed to hide this? I just feel like that's so silly. Obviously, these 4 players have COVID. If this was to happen in the regular season, we all know that they have COVID. I don't understand this because the medical privacy can't allow you to say something. I mean, it's kind of sloppy. It's kind of childish. He's got COVID. He's got a quarantine. We'll see him after. Oh, we can't say anything. Nick Williams is just happens to play right field today over Bryce Harper. Joe Girardi made a Gabe Kapler decision and put Nick Williams in right field over Bryce Harper. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. For 7 to 8 days. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Like, come on, right? I mean, it just flat out doesn't make any sense. How do they sit around the room and say, this is what we're going to do? I guess nothing really surprises me when it comes to baseball and how they operate and how they do things. Alec Bohm and Spencer Howard. Are they going to play this year? Yeah, I would think so. Are they going to start the season with the team? That's the question. And there are people thinking, give Spencer Howard the ball. Nick Pivetta, I'm done with him. Vince Velasquez, I'm done with them. And dude, I've been saying that forever, banging on the table. I want to get rid of these guys. I don't even like them in the bullpen. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Vince Velasquez can do it. I know he might have more of that type of role in him, but guess what? I don't think it's there. The mindset's not there. The stuff, it's just not there. And Nick Pivetta, you're a crybaby. Get off my team. I don't want either of them there. But with Spencer Howard, the best thing, for both of these guys really, the best thing to do is to make sure that you can keep them down the road for an extra year if they miss the first handful of games. It's all about service time. Don't start their clock early for a handful of games. With the 60-game season coming up, let them do what they need to do and then call them up when it's time so you don't start their clock. You want to make sure that you can keep them under the organization's power for as long as possible. I don't really care about this season in terms of winning that championship or not. I'm sorry. I want to see sports on the TV, no doubt, but it's not make or break for me when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies winning this World Series championship. They're not in the same spot as the Dodgers. They're not in the same spot as the Yankees. They're not in the same spot as some of these teams that can legitimately compete for the World Series. And I know a lot of people are thinking everyone's in play. It's a 60-game season. The Nationals wouldn't have even made the playoffs last year. The Pittsburgh Pirates would have. I mean, what are you saying? Sure, Bad teams can get off to a good start, and the Phillies have been actually a squad that been on hot starts to kind of start each season over the last couple years under Gabe Kapler. It's been the backfall that was brutal. I know, I've seen it. But I'm not going to give up my power of having Alec Bohm and Spencer Howard under the Phillies organization for a handful of games in a 60-game season when COVID-19 was in play. That's just not how I roll. I think the smartest decision organizationally is make sure that you do this the right way. It's not worth it. I want to see Spencer Howard more than anyone in the world. I want to see the stuff. I want to see if he's going to live up to the hype. Alec Bohm, I want to see him DH. I want to see him in the field. I know everyone talks about how he's not ready to field yet. He's not ready to play the major league position defensively, and you might be right. I want to see where he's at. I want to legitimately see where he's at the hot corner. I want to see him swing the bat. I mean, clearly he has pop. He's able to really swing the bat. He's really there murdering the baseball. I want to see it. But I'm okay to wait a week or two. I'm okay to wait a handful of games, 7 games or so. I'm totally cool with doing that. Whatever it is, to make sure the clock doesn't start this year. It's a flawed system with baseball. Once again, why am I surprised? It's a flawed system, the way that these minor leaguers and these prospects are held hostage, essentially, for so long. But use it. Why just throw it away? Use it. If these kids are as good as they are made out to be, I want them in the Phillies organization for as long as possible, for as cheap as possible. And don't waste a year down the road because you wanted them in a 60-game stretch when COVID-19 happened. I think that would be the silliest mistake the Phillies make. And for some reason, guess what? I sense they're going to do it. I really hope they're smarter than that. I know the standard fan just wants to see them play. They want to see Bohm. They want to see Howard. You'll still see them. Just not right off the jump. And guess what? Down the road, everyone thinks about the now. It's so similar to the Howie Roseman thing. Get Jalen Ramsey. They needed a cornerback so bad that year. Give up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first-round picks. Go get Jalen Ramsey. Well, yeah, because you only thought about the right then and there. And I said, don't do it. Don't be giving up your first-round picks. You're going to need them down the road. And look what they did with their first-round picks. Don't do it. And I'm so happy that he didn't do it. Then what was the other one? Ngakoue. Trade whatever. You need a pass rusher. Trade whatever. Not trade whatever. I was interested. I would have gave up a first-round pick for Ngakoue because I think he's that type of talent. 2 first-rounders, this guy. Who's on the market this year? Come on. They want to trade Zach Ertz for him, or they want to trade some sort of Jamal Adams. Trade Ertz. Trade a first. Trade a second. So first, second, and Ertz. Get rid of him. Get Adams. Well, why? You just think about the right now. Let's talk about down the road. That matters too. That's what GMs are supposed to do. Owners, these front office members, they think bigger picture. Although, I don't know if Matt Klentak thinks he's that safe. If we're talking that far down the road with Spencer Howard and Alec Bohm, I don't want Matt Klentak thinking he's that safe. But still, I think it would be a huge mistake. That's all. That's where I'm at. So, a lot to dive into. A lot that we dove into, I should say. And I would love to hear your thoughts. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, you can use the review system and leave a comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, of course, the comment section is down below. Do not forget that this episode is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power. Their solar program helps eliminate your electric bill completely. They offer flexible financing solutions such as $0 down. In addition, they will make sure you receive all the state and federal incentives available for switching to solar. No risk, no investment. Make sure you check out their information in the description Thank you guys all so much. You're starting to see some baseball. I'm not as giddy as I thought I would be, but it's not real baseball yet. It's just some guys taking some ground balls and swinging the bat here and there. I saw Reese Hoskins' mustache. It's a cool look. I saw JT Realmuto ripped. I'm not saying it doesn't interest me at all to see them on the diamond. Of course it does, but I'm not all juiced up and amped up as I am because I guess there's just so much time until legit baseball kicks off, and anything can happen at this point. You got New Jersey and other states pulling back from having indoor dining, and it's just headed in the wrong direction once again at this point. So who the hell knows? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will see you next time.